Here I'm taking a look at an operational combat series game called Smolensk, Barbarossa Derailed. And I mentioned this in another video that I did on Autumn for Barbarossa, which is basically the SCS version of this game. This has a lot more detail in it, of course, but it's a decent one because it's an OCS game. It's East Front, which is really what this system seemed to be designed for. I mean, the first game was Guderian's Blitzkrieg. And this game is one map, and it is manageable. It's still a monster in a sense, but it's, well, the campaign game is 19 turns. They're 3 days per turn, basically. So it goes July 8th, 1941 to September 8th, 1941. And, you know, it's got quite a bit going on in it. There are a number of special rules in this game, but not too many. But there is some rules here for Guderian and Hoth. There is a random events if you want to use those. That's always interesting. And but it's actually a fairly basic game to look into. So I'm going to just share some details. I'm not so sure how much I will share. I did play a whole campaign with this solo, and I have a lot of photographs of it, so I'll show a few at least, and we'll see, you know, how much I put into it. So this first picture that I'm showing here is really in the opening of the game, the setup, and you have basically the Soviet 16th Army headquarters is deployed in Smolensk. This is like one of the key areas. The game's named after Smolensk. This is where the operations are going to culminate, we would imagine. And so this unit is not really involved in the, you know, frontline fighting. It's a rear area unit, but this is an important unit because you'll notice it's in combat mode. So this 16th Army has 10 truck movement points to throw supply. And so it is important that it's on, you know, these roads that you see, the primary roads, which are, these are like a half a point in truck movement points. So 1 point can move 2 hexes. So if I can stay all along a road, the 16th Army can throw supply around. You know, it can keep units in supply that are 20 road hexes away. One of the important things about headquarters in operational combat system is, you know, where they're deployed. So it's deployed on a railroad here, which is important because supply, it's the best way to get new supply from off map entering the game, and to move it in is to move it in along railroads, especially a double line railroad, which can carry basically twice as much. You know, the rail cap is twice as, you know, will allow twice as much supply on that type of a track. You also see I've got a couple of truck counters there, and along with the supply, these are useful for moving supply around to units that are going to be needing it for combat and gas. And there is a small airbase. I think this is just a level 1 airbase, and I get a squadron of SB-2 tactical bombers here. This was, you know, an outdated airplane by 1941. I mean, the Messerschmitts could just knock this thing out of the sky, I believe. And you can see the ratings aren't very good. It's got a parenthesized air-to-air rating, which means, you know, it can sort of defend itself. But if it's going against a Messerschmitt, you know, it's probably going to be a 5 against a 1. So it's not good. And then, you know, it can't initiate air-to-air with the one parenthesized. And its bombardment factor is only a 2. I mean, this is not going to get anywhere on a mission. Maybe if you get a couple of these together, you can maybe do an interdiction somewhere that would be effective. But that's kind of what the opening area of the center of operations for the Soviets are. This next picture shows some of the action at Vitebsk. This is on the northwestern part of the map, really, but this is one of the first areas that the Germans really want to focus on getting control of, and you can see why. You've got two double line railroads coming into this area. It's right on the Dvina River. You've got a primary road going east to west and then north to south. So this is going to be an important part, particularly of the northern hub of the operation for the Germans. So they've got to expend some effort here. You can also see underneath, there's a little bit of an evidence of it, but there are a number of map printed hedgehogs in this place. So this place is already prepared defensively. However, you can see that there's not much going for it as far as unit strength. I mean, you've got the 18th tank division there in the south of the city. You know, it's got 20 factors. I mean, it's got a lot of tanks, but it's got a 1 action rating. I mean, this unit is going to be not hold up very well. Then you've got the 162nd division. And look how weak of a strength this unit is, a 0 action rating. It's on its move mode side, though. So that's why it's a 5. You can see the 126th division is 11 with a 1 action rating. This unit's not going to hold up well. I mean, their best unit in this area looks to be the 220th, which is on the track along the edge of the river. And you've got the 22nd Army headquarters up at the village of Gorodok. So I mean, it's got some supply. It's feeding the Soviet troops here, and we don't have much going. You'll see that the Soviets do have an I-16 squadron of fighters, and I mean, this is useful, even though it's really no match for German fighters. But it would normally project a patrol zone. So when these Ju-87s come in, if I could try to intercept them, and you know, they would probably be outdoing these Stukas, you know, in air to air. But once they're used, you know, they end up going inactive. So if you just leave them up with the patrol zone of 10 hexes, anybody entering in a 10 hex range of them, it's going to add to the flak value, so that those enemy units might take some damage. So in this case, obviously the Ju-87s got through without any problems, and they're going to lay down some, you know, a barrage here, and the 20th motorized is going to probably be able to, you know, run into these guys. This next picture is number 33. It's showing Orsha, which is, you know, a city, and you can see this is maybe one of the most important cities on the map. You have primary roads going north, south, east, west here, but you've got double line railroads going north, south, east, west. So this is you know, a very important location. It is also surrounded with more of these on-map hedgehogs, which you can barely see them, but under the 233rd Infantry Division is one kind of peeking out. But wherever these Soviet formations are deployed here are on top of these hedgehogs, so which adds, you know, an anti-tank strength and some defensive protection. But again, the units are very weak here. You'll see that they've got a squadron of biplanes deployed here, I-153s. These are not very good. So the Ju-87Bs are just flying in there and barraging. So the 17th Panzer's kind of infiltrated that area. They've got the 17th Infantry Division completely surrounded and cut off from supply. And then you've got the 29th motorized with the 29th Motorcycle Battalion that is blocking down that road, putting the 161 out of supply also. And this next picture, number 34, is showing Mogilev, which is in the top, right area. It's got the air base there with the MiG-3s. And you've got the 10th Panzer is coming through there, and I believe the 4th Panzer have kind of converged on that. And I think this is also a city, and it's got a couple of hedgehogs there, which make it a little bit more formidable. You'll also see that the SSR has pretty much surrounded the 155th Infantry Division on the river that is running north-south there. And then you've got the 10th motorized in Baikov, or it's attacking this area in Baikov. I want to kind of get through in that position along that rail line. And you see that I've got some protection from some Messerschmitt 110s, which are protecting the 2 squadrons of Ju-87s, which are going in there and disorganizing these units to make the attack a little bit easier. But those 2 Stuka squadrons can put down 24 points of barrage. So this last picture here is showing Gorodok, and this is where the 22nd Army headquarters is located, and they're defended by some supports there, some SKVD, and they also have the 50th Infantry Division that's just to their west along that track. But the 20th Panzer has their eyes on there, and you can see the 121 Battalion is on the track, and then you've got the 221 Battalion is on the track below along the double edge rail line. So these are some of the early areas that the German player is going to invest in this game to try to set up a foundation to lunge forward. Anyway, that's a little bit of an overview of the opening of this game. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.